Yeah.
So, Ashley, tell us about the Peterson tea, because Jordan Peterson, someone that's been sort of out of the public like zeitgeist / mind frame for a while now, and he's back again.
There's a reason. There's a reason why he's been out of the public eye for a long time, and it's such a tangled web. Where to begin? Well,
did he have another spoonful of cider?
No.
No, actually, no.
Oh, man. Well, basically what happened is that Jordan got addicted to, I think it was benzos. Because he was like self-medicating because his wife was diagnosed with cancer, which is understandable. This is the story his daughter Michaela tells, by the way. Michaela says that Jordan wanted to be put in a consensual coma in a Russian hospital so that he could withdraw from the benzos, but basically not be
unconscious.
Basically not have to actually like experience it.
Yeah.
So that's where he was for a long time.
In a coma, so just to be, he actually did that.
Yeah, in Serbia, wasn't it?
Yeah, some Slav country somewhere. And
Wow.
probably like nurses and like Adidas tracksuits and shit.
The most bougie version of train spotting I've ever heard in my life.
I know it's well, okay. Jordan Peterson woke up from his coma similarly to Sleeping Beauty awakening from her slumber. I wonder what woke him up. Was it Michaela's kiss?
No, she didn't want him to wake up.
Yes.
Willing to bet.
That is part of the narrative. We're getting to that. Michaela has been giving us information, and it's mainly been Michaela. We've rarely actually heard from Peterson himself. So she's been posting like pictures of him. He went on her podcast, explained the whole situation, and he looks bad. Like he's lost so much weight. He looks like he was held prisoner by ISIS for 6 months. It's horrible.
This is how I know that the left is kind of sick, because like they've kind of created this weird like fandom around this whole tragic situation that he's going through, in the same way that those people that like are like free Britney Spears have like basically
it's a true crime podcast that's just going on like
it's
in
literally,
real time on Twitter
like
all
it.
the time about Jordan Peterson.
It sounds like it, and it's really like disturbing, because okay, he says things that you may not agree with, but he's also a human being at the end of the day who's had a really horrible, tragic thing happen to him.
It gets a whole lot worse, because okay, so Jordan Peterson recently got coronavirus, and his daughter was seen clubbing, no mask on, in like some Slav nightclub and everything, like living it up, like making fun of coronavirus and everything, and then he gets it like 2 weeks later, which is horrible, but it makes her look like she is trying to kill him. Like, because she has a little mini empire coming up.
Yes.
She has her own diet. It's like this carnivore steak only diet which
she has enslaved him with, by the way.
Yeah, she got him on this diet. He can't even fucking, like Jake said. This is
the whole cider thing.
Jake said, he can't even have cider because he thinks the only food he can eat is literally beef and salt.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that does sound like a fairly tasty diet. Maybe for like a month, maybe not for like my life.
It's not to say that you're 100% wrong. However, like if you get so adjusted to like a mono diet like that, where like you drink cider and you're knocked on your ass in the way that he describes, maybe something's wrong with that diet.
Yeah, or also just not just that, but I think also, I mean, it's quite, if I'm honest, I don't know, obviously, their living situation. If Michaela lives with her dad, I think that would probably be kind of weird at the age that she is.
She's married with a kid.
Yeah,
and that's another part of the puzzle.
Yeah, that's another fun part of it, actually.
But I mean, so like, you know, but I mean, if she's in contact with him a lot, and he's someone that is like high risk, that doesn't have a very good immune system, that can't even have a fucking pint without going to hospital, that feels the need to fucking go and put himself in a coma to get over a fucking prescription drug, fucking like, get over yourself, man. Like, this is someone that's weak, that can't fucking take illness, and now you're in a pandemic, and you go out and you fucking party and shit. It is a little bit like
horrible.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
very questionable to say the very least.
Yeah.
If I had a dad that was like fucking vulnerable, like how the hell would I be even going out risking myself and then having regular contact with him? Like
Well,
that
and,
just to
make
me
the
just
assumption that
seems
she
like-
didn't get sick. She could have easily brought the germs to him without having gotten sick. It's possible for that to happen.
But this just proves how the internet has made us all collectively like mentally ill. Because number one, the fact that all three of you care so much about this is kind of ridiculous in the first place.
Last week, fuck, Mary, kill Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson was the Mary. Okay.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
a
well-
reason. He is
Oh my
he is by far the most tolerable of all of those people.
But even then, if the stuff that people are speculating about is true, obviously I'm not saying allegedly, if it's true or whatever, then there's a possibility that his daughter could be looking to make aggrandize herself off the back of her father's clout. And you know she's of the
already
sort of,
doing it. To be
but
fair,
she's of the generation, and she's of the sort of age and you know exposure to online culture where that is sort of the norm these days in that
Yeah.
regard, and that sort of thing is sort of expected in that regard. And I don't know why people are surprised if that's the case. Like this is the sort of really crazy like world that
maybe
we're
the
living in
coma
right now.
stuff might be a little bit more than what we consider the norm.
And then the final little tidbit is that the guy she's married to he's like a Stalinist.
right, and like she's not though at all.
Yeah, she posted about how we argued all night about Joseph Stalin, and that's when
Good for them.
I know
Are
it's
they
actually nice.
are
Maybe
they
they have-
plotting to kill Jordan Peterson?
Oh my god. Why
Yeah.
is there this like weird like left TMZ getting into these fucking people's businesses? Like let them live their lives.
I don't care, and I don't think that she's trying to kill her dad to take over some sort of Peterson empire.
Boo.
But as a topic of conversation and as how you should be conducting yourself towards your fucking loved ones during a pandemic, that's like just common fucking sense.
Exactly.
You go out and fucking party, like full fucking stop. Like, not to be fucking mean, and I don't think that anyone the person that fucking invited me to this fucking thing is going to listen to this fucking podcast. So I'll just tell this fucking story, right? After all of this shit, all the live events and stuff closed down. So like fucking, I had a load of people that moved out of fucking London, fucking moved back to London. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm having a fucking barbecue around mine. Everyone's coming, all the old crew from the radio and all of this shit. And he's just like, my dude, this isn't any fucking time. This isn't the summer. The shit's not over. Like, I'm not going to go to your fucking studio apartment with a garden and 20 other fucking strangers. You absolute fucking mental case. Have you got a fucking death wish? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, and he looked at me like I was fucking mad. And he's just like, like, when did the news come out that that coronavirus is gone and that we're all fucking safe? Like, when
And
did
he's
that
just like,
fucking happen?
he's just like, I'm not taking no vaccines. No, sir.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter, man. It's all going to be up and fucking going soon. It's all fucking good, man. It's over with. It's just like, what the fuck?
In Aberdeen, they actually opened like everything, like bars and everything, whatever. And like we had like an explode. Like, you know how Scotland was doing so fucking well? We were down to like barely any cases. Aberdeen had like 52 like overnight. So they had to lock down the entire city. And I'm talking like, you're not supposed to go in, out, whatever. So if I'd stayed a couple extra days, I would have been trapped. Like I wouldn't have been able to
Oh my
leave
God.
because Aberdeen had
Oh
just
my
had to
God.
completely shut down again.
Oh my god.
Insane.
It's crazy. Well, speaking of Jordan Peterson and you know, Peterson's sort of like philosophy and stuff, the reason why I chose him to marry in Kill Marry Fuck last week is because he's actually like, he's not wrong about everything he talks about. Like his framing is wrong. My major problem with him is that he puts too much responsibility on the individual for a lot of systemic issues.
Yes.
And I guess in that regard, that I feel like the left causes pathology in the way that it makes people feel powerless. But I think that the right causes pathology in the way that it makes them feel like, you know, small, because it's like everything is your responsibility. And
Yeah.
if you're failing, then that's your fault. And that can cause its own form of pathology. But he's not wrong
Absolutely.
about a lot of things. And like one of the reasons that I like to listen to him as well is because he's a Jungian. And you know me, I'm all about my Jungian shit. I think he's sort of has some of the Jungian concepts twisted, and he sort of tries to twist them for his political agenda.
Yeah, he gets some of it wrong, to be fair.
Yeah.
I even have a pretty like basic understanding of it, and there are things that I detect that he gets wrong.
Yeah, but he does it on purpose because he's sort of trying to jam it into a very right-wing political agenda in that regard. But one of the things that I think he was the most apt about is the idea that like archetypes matter. And that memes matter as well. And I feel like this is something that the left is sort of like neglected in that regard. And we've given that sort of power over, we've surrendered that territory to the right. Like, I remember when Pepe was like a thing in 2016 or whatever, there were like people like liberals and shit who were like, memes are just bad. Like any memes, we should just not do memes because memes are bad. Basically, like the right
I
wing.
remember that.
Someone literally did that a week ago on Twitter. They said it was some person, cartoonist or whatever, said, I joined a Discord, and when I saw all the, what are they called, emoticons, things that you use in the chat, like all of them were Pepe, so I had to leave immediately. And like even like the more liberal kind of leftists were like, come on, seriously, we're still getting upset about Pepes.
Yeah, it's crazy to me though, because the just the sheer lack of mimetic power that the left has, like really, and I think it's because we've lost touch with our vital essence, especially because of how like and I fucking sound a bit weird now. We've lost touch with our vital essence in the sense that we're cut off from like visceral experience and trapped within the spectacle, I think. And I feel like it seems like the left is sort of rejected not only like archetypes and, you know, these sort of mimetic forms of meaning, but also like visceral experience in the way that the right hasn't. But then you have sort of the one meme that's sort of been semi-successful on the left has been like the grill pill meme. But it's successful in the sense that it conveys an idea successfully in a very sort of concise way, but it's not as successful in the sense that it hasn't really left the left. It's not really become viral, like a viral agent in the way that other memes have, because it's just sort of something that's shared
because he needs to write the book already. That's what he needs to do, write the grill pill book.
I don't know if it's possible though, because the thing that gives memes their power is the fact that they sort of arise spontaneously and organically, and you can never really trace their origin. And I feel like the memes that you can really, the way you can trace the origin to like a specific person are the ones that tend not to kind of be as viral because they have too much of they're already claimed.
I mean,
like
12 Rules for Life was a bestseller, and Consider the Lobster is a thing that I say every single day.
Yeah, but it's a meme that's based around figure rather than a meme that's supposed to convey an idea. And 12 Rules for Life is a book. It's a text. It's not a meme. It's not a distilled form of an idea in an image.
Sure, yeah.
In that regard.
That's fair.
And it's easy for us to make memes around figures. It's a lot harder to distill big ideas down into small kind of tiny little bite-sized pieces. And grill pill is just one word, but it has, within it is sort of tucked in the idea, this like really big idea. And it seems like the left has a lot of trouble being able to do that, and it's because we don't have any archetypal power. Like the right wing is able to sort of prey on like lizard brain things. They also drape themselves in arcane imagery as well. They are able to tap into these sort of notions that have existed from time immemorial, things like family, values, honor, all of these different really macro ideas that we sort of we're just reject, deconstruct, and it's why we don't really have any sort of archetypal essence to build from. And that's why
cancel culture is not real.
And that's why, kids, the left can't meme.